This podcast is for fellow little sisters,
only children who wish they had a little sister,
older siblings who miss their little sisters.
We're just your little sisters. Unhinged,
unpaid,
unstoppable.
Little sisters, big opinions. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is Ashley,
Shelly, and Tori.
Welcome to the Little Sisters Big Opinions podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today I think I would like to start off with giving a little shout out to Chewy.
Chewy.com?
Yes. Recently they sent me a painting, a miniature portrait of my dear little doggy, and I thought that was so kind. Now, granted, it was probably for marketing purposes, but even so, even so, it was very nice of them, and I will treasure it forever.
I feel like Dylan's a tough one to paint, too.
Yeah.
He has so many
wrinkles.
I know that there's been a lot of other similar stories like that, too, with where they've just gone above and beyond for their customers.
Yes.
How did Dylan react when you showed him the painting? Show it to him yet?
I have. We have to take a little picture. I have to take a picture of him with it. He was kind of unfazed. He's kind of a jerk.
Oh. He doesn't appreciate art?
No, he doesn't.
So in the painting, he had the little Superman harness on.
Batman.
Oh, Batman.
Yes.
That's right. It was Batman. That's so cute. Would he still fit into that? Because that was from when he was a puppy.
Honestly, that shirt is probably the size of the palm of my hand.
Oh.
He was 6 pounds.
Yeah. What I would give to see Dylan at that age.
No, it was so cute. It was so cute. I've had a couple of friends whose dogs have passed away, and Chewy has even sent them flowers. Because obviously
sweet.
You canceled the orders for the food or medicine, stuff like that. And they're good company.
They are. And it's always like, it's not just like an automated card. Like it's literally handwritten. It's put in, they are just so sincere. And it even says like on the painting, I know they're like the artist that did it and everything.
Right.
That's
so great.
Dylan will learn to appreciate it.
He will.
A question about Dylan. So Dylan is Ashley's dog. He's one of a kind. That's the only way I can describe him. What do you think made him into what he is today? Nature versus nurture?
Well, okay. So truly, nature, his breeder sent me. So first of all, I'll say this. He was the runt of the litter.
Oh,
originally.
That sums it up right
there.
Stop it.
Just like us.
Yes.
We're the runts.
Well, then he finally grew past his sister, I think. And so he was no longer the runt, but if that's how it works. But I remember his breeder after, we had purchased him. He was still with the breeder. She was just sending me videos and pictures until he was old enough for him to come to us. There's a video that perfectly describes his personality where they had a cat and he's outside and his little butt is in the air and he's just going off on this cat. Just the cat's totally unfazed. She's yeah, I've seen plenty of you before. You don't scare me. I'll slap you. And he's just going off her. And that's him. That's him.
Oh, yeah.
Sass. Then on top of that, I don't think being combined with my personality or my husband's personality helped him at all.
But I think you guys just embrace who he is.
Yeah,
that's true. Change him.
Yeah, we definitely have a dynamic. Although he is crazy, it's tough because he is obedient. He listens to the things
he listens to you.
Yes, that's true. He listens to me. He knows a lot of commands.
And it goes further than just a simple command. You could say I feel like a lot of dogs, if you say it in a certain voice or a tone, they get it. But if you say it in another tone, they don't. He understands everything.
Yes.
It's more than I've ever seen in a dog in my life.
Yeah, you just give him a look and he stops.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And if you look at him, Michelle one time looked at him in a way that he didn't like. And I think, Ashley, you were like, he's not going to like that. And I was like, there's no way. He barely would have caught on to that. And he started freaking out. He started barking, and I was like, wow, he really just picks up on everything.
Yeah. I think Dylan just doesn't like me. Since I've dog sat for you a couple times, there's a hatred.
No, he doesn't dislike you. He just doesn't respect you.
I feel disrespected. I think Dylan around Dylan, and I've just accepted. I'm like, you have a power over me that I never.
I feel Dylan respects me.
I think he does too.
I think he just knows that I'd let him get away with anything, though. I think he senses that from me.
Yes. He feels, you're not trying to put any restrictions on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's almost like, me and Tori will go do whatever we want to do.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
But I think maybe if I, watched him like you did, and I had to be that way, then maybe he'd feel the same way
Yeah.
about-
Yeah.
And he didn't know me very well at the time.
That's
so it's like
true.
I was just somebody who showed up when you guys were away
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
stay there. He was like, what's happening?
That's true.
I remember you explaining that, like when you watched him, and the stories that Michelle was telling me. I remember thinking, I was like, I do not want to meet this dog. Like I was scared, and when I
Completely different dog without you around.
I was so
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. And what's sad is like I can't really correct the behavior because I'm not there.
No.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I'm sure there's ways I could do it.
no.
yeah.
This is
No,
all
but
him.
I was gonna say like then that to, and obviously it's different because I've only ever been with him with you. But I was gonna say now, like I feel like every time I see him, he's an angel. So like thinking about that dog that I was like
Yeah.
scared of to see, like even when I had seen him
Yeah.
from afar, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna like pet him because I heard he bites and stuff. Whatever. Really doesn't bite. He knows what he's doing. Like it's not. He's not
Yeah.
trying to draw blood. But like
It's a warning.
just that to now, like literally every time I see him, I am like scratching his butt. Like I want him like kissing my face. Like I do not care. Like I'm not scared of him at all. He's literally the sweetest thing ever. So just that switch up is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Needs to be studied.
Yeah. No, he like when I'm not around, he knows. No, I will say he knows. He thinks he's like king of the hill. And
No, he knows.
Yeah,
He is.
yeah.
He does.
he's just one of a kind.
Yeah.
All right. Michelle threatened me.
Yes.
So last week we had talked about fears, and apparently my mother shared a story.
Yeah.
So
So
go for it, Michelle.
I saw your mom last week after it came out, and she was like, I thought of a story for Ashley because she claimed not to have any childhood fears. So I was like, please tell me more. Ashley, correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear you were a big Barney fan.
I dabbled, yeah.
I heard you loved Barney. Loved. Would watch him every day.
Yep. Him and the bear in the big blue house.
Yes, okay. But I don't know where your mom took you, but someone in a Barney costume came out.
I think we were at the mall, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay. And your mom was like
Best
so
day of your
excited
life.
for you. You're like, she was like, look, Ashley, like it's Barney. You love him. And you wouldn't go near him at all.
I
So
probably,
you're petrified.
you know why? I was very intuitive. I probably knew that was just a creepy man in a costume.
Maybe.
And that's not the Barney I knew and loved.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Exactly.
I'll say this much. The one thing that costumes get wrong, and I understand there's a different caliber.
Is everything.
Right. There's a different caliber as far as cost, what the costumes cost and all that.
Mm.
In TV costumes, it's always like a full costume, the body, whatever, the head.
Mhm.
In like costumes people use at the mall, the head is huge and the body is like slender.
Mall.
Oh yeah. Don't even get me started on the Times Square people that are dressed.
Oh, and that's
Oh, yeah.
That's
people
like
you can't trust them.
a whole
Yeah, no,
nother
yeah.
thing. But I was like 15 in Times Square, and there was a man dressed as a baby, and he was like full, everything was shaved, like head to toe, probably even his toes, like shaved, waxed even.
Wow.
And he was in a diaper, like an adult diaper with a baby mask on. And I have a picture
Oh.
of him.
It was very
My family's
realistic
like-
looking too. I remember
Yeah.
it.
He had a
Freaky.
bottle, and my family's like, go take a picture with him. So
Oh,
I did. He put his arm around me.
I was as a kid, I was fascinated with costumes. Went to Disney a lot. I don't know how old I was, maybe like 5. I was in my coconut head phase. So I had the bowl. I wanted to touch every character.
oh,
so I
you were
must
one
have-
of those.
Yeah. In all the pictures from that trip, somebody's holding me. Like, there's one specifically of a penguin from Mary Poppins, and my mom's holding me, and I'm just petting its head. Like, all of those photos, it's very strange. I was
Oh.
fascinated.
I feel like if you didn't get to do that, you'd probably crash out.
Exactly.
Like you were like, I have to. I have
touch
to
it.
see if it's real.
Yep.
Wow.
No.
No, I wanted nothing to do with them.
No. I would love to know what those people were thinking.
Till this day,
Costumes.
even the Disney ones, like when I go to Disney, even those
You don't like them?
select few.
Oh, wow.
Mickey, of course.
Donald
Minnie,
Duck.
of course. No need to see Donald.
Goofy.
Nope. Nope. Daisy.
You like Daisy?
Yes.
No, I feel the opposite. No need to meet Daisy.
Wow. And then this is not even really she's not even in a real costume. This is the Ivy woman in Animal Kingdom.
The what? The Ivy woman?
I liked it.
Victoria, the tree woman.
No.
Is a lot to memory.
Oh,
Yeah.
you would. Oh my gosh. The only one that scares me.
She's like in
Yeah.
a tree.
No.
For all those who don't know what we're talking about, there's this one. I know the Disney people are going to come after me for not knowing her real name. We'll fact
on
check
stilts.
later.
Miss
Yeah.
Ivy.
it is Miss
No, I don't know.
something.
Oh, it is?
No, what-
I totally just
we
made that up.
always called it the tree lady.
Now I have to look it up. Ivy Divine. Divine is her name.
Okay.
So she's on stilts and
She blends
she
in
blends in with
too
the trees.
easily.
Yeah. And sometimes you won't even know she's there. All of a sudden she'll just start moving and walking about Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I like to see Divine.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
That is cool, but
So
kind of scary.
how old were we? Me and Victoria went to Disney together when we were younger, our families. And I remember the tree lady being, she could have replaced the ET fear. I remember at least being petrified of the tree lady, specifically on the trip with you guys.
Real. I just remember like always being a little scared of her, but I don't remember like a big fear.
No, I was scared. So maybe for me,
Do you guys, you might not remember this because I was very little and then I think they got rid of it because it was terrifying. There was a ride called Stitch's Great Escape. And it's changed since.
yeah.
When I went on it, they lock you into the seat. You're in like a circle
Mhm.
and it's like you're in a spaceship. Yeah. In the middle was this creature that like basically we had gone on a mission and captured. That was the whole ride. You're locked into these seats and he escapes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This thing was scary looking. He escapes. I was probably I was actually just started second grade. I remember my mom let me miss like the first few days of second grade to go to Disney. Yeah, we stayed at Animal Kingdom. Like, I was living. Yeah.
Wow.
And so this alien escapes and then all the lights go off and he's hissing and spitting on you. Like that's
Yeah.
what
And they would use like they would make it seem like he was caught in your hair. Then he was like,
it was
you go
awful.
over your feet.
Yep, things on the feet. It was almost like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing. And then they also had obviously It's a Bug's Life, which I think is getting renovated or changed pretty soon. Yeah.
That
I cried leaving that early.
Yeah. No, I go on it just to hear little kids cry like it.
yeah.
Oh, but I wasn't a little kid. That's the bad.
We're little. Well,
I wasn't little enough.
yeah.
That's
That's
just I. Like
I
10.
how old we were. No, we were probably younger than 10.
If you were 10 and under, I'll give that to you.
No,
Okay.
But so, yeah, this ride was bad. And I
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is worse.
screaming.
But to Victoria, A Bug's Life was the worst ride. Took our seats, and Victoria booked it for the exit. Didn't tell anybody.
I
her mom.
remember hearing it.
Yeah.
Her mom had to run after her.
I felt like locked in because I was, but I was gonna find a way
It
out.
was as soon as the lights came off.
No, it was
She
like
booked it.
as soon as I saw one bug, I was like, "There's
Yeah.
actual bugs here. Like we gotta go." So
They're
not like
they're-
real bugs, but
they were like the ones on the screen.
animatronic, the ones that
the
come
ones
down.
that
Yeah.
come down.
Like, and then-
spiders.
And then I heard, I think they didn't tell me till we got in that a bee comes under your seat.
I
It
put that
stings
fear.
you.
I was so afraid.
I think
of
you
that.
told me that like
Yeah.
as we got in and the doors locked, and I was like, nope, and I got right out of it. But I think I was waiting because I was like, let's see if it actually happens. And then I think maybe someone next to me was like felt it, and I was like, nope,
Yeah.
gotta go.
To this day, I've never gotten the bee sting. It scares me so bad. I always lean forward. It freaks me out.
I know a lot of people don't like love bugs, right? But I used to be like certain bugs, especially just like any spiders, anything. Now spiders aren't too bad for me. The only thing that I really hate to see is a centipede. Honestly, anything compared to a centipede is fine for me. Like I feel like now that
I hate them. I agree.
my sisters would always say, you attract them. And I'm like, I don't want to. And I hope I don't. One time it was like 2 a.m. and I'm sound asleep. I had like my little twin bed against the wall and I'm like facing the wall. Something decided to wake me up. Like the bug wasn't on me, right?
Okay.
But I just like woke up in the middle of the night. I look to my side, literally inches away from me. It's just next to my face, right on the side of the bed. I like got up, screamed, my whole house woke up. Like, but things like that with centipedes would happen constantly. And I just can't stand them, how fast they move, the amount of legs that they have. Oh, yeah.
Remember
Nope.
your little jewelry dish?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I used to put my earrings into a little cup, and I would always just dump it into my hand to put them on. And one day I went to do it, a centipede comes out. I had seen it moving out as I was tipping it, so I just threw it. Oh, they're just such creepy crawlers. Like, even my dog, Lucy, with certain bugs, she just kind of looks at them and is like, whatever. The other day, we were both sitting on, like, our little bench, and I saw one just go across the floor. One of the biggest ones I've ever seen, remind you, in the longest time. And even she looked at it and her eyes got big. Sometimes she looks at bugs and she just acknowledges them. She's like, whatever. But like her eyes got big and I screamed, but I took my shoe and just smushed it. Anyways, sorry. Off that tangent.
I want to backtrack to A Bug's Life in that trip that me and Victoria took when we were, maybe 10, maybe younger.
Yeah, maybe like 8.
Yeah.
8.
Let's go with that. I would like a mental image because when we met up with them in Animal Kingdom, Victoria had gotten her face painted.
I feel like I've seen this picture.
It was supposed to be like a Dalmatian. It was so cute, and like you were the cutest kid, but also you were a very messy kid. You still are. So like
Yes, you could.
even all the pictures, and I remember at the time it was like a Dalmatian face, but it was more your lunch all over your face than the actual face.
I used it as an excuse to just get food all over myself.
Because I remember you didn't want to wipe your face because you didn't want to smudge the paint. I don't know if it was ice cream, what it was, but it was just covered.
I was adding to the art. It was always like, I'm just going to go get my face painted
you
by
were the
myself.
one.
And nobody else wanted to do it,
Yeah.
but I was like, I just want to.
So also
And-
picture little Victoria running out of Bug's Life, busting the door open with that Dalmatian ice cream face. It was so funny.
like, I was, like sweating, frantic. It's like all of a sudden just down my body. The paint.
I just remember you up out of your seat and running.
I don't know if anybody can relate on this. It's probably an ADD thing, but I feel like sometimes certain things just aren't even enough for me and I need more. Like somehow the whole Disney experience wasn't enough and I had to get my face painted. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like, you know, I'd already gotten the snacks, I'd already done all the rides. I'm like, what can I do now? And then I saw the face painting. I'm like,
Yep.
No, I
do
think
me
that's
up.
being
Like
that's being a kid.
that's like a kid thing.
You
Yeah,
always want more. You're
But,
not
like-
satisfied.
exactly. That's true. But I feel like that's also extended into like how I am now with things. Like I just gotta do it all.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that you picked the Dalmatian because I remember at the time you were like, I just love dogs so much. And that's still you. Not that trip, but another time I chose a lion.
Oh yeah, I remember that picture.
Yeah.
That wasn't when we were there together.
No, I was way too old.
Yeah.
I was probably 15.
I've gotten it done recently.
Okay.
They do a really good job.
Yeah,
Do you guys think that at some point we should do a Disney episode?
absolutely.
Oh
I feel like some of our listeners would definitely fall off.
I think
but
so.
for those who
Yeah.
love Disney, I think they'd really appreciate
Yeah.
it.
It'll just be a special.
Yeah.
I can't say I'll have enough expertise.
I think that would be a whole
Yeah.
could be a whole part of it because
Yeah.
me and Michelle
Yeah.
Could quiz you on
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, guys, we just went out on a limb today. We didn't, sometimes we prepare topics and stuff, but we pivot with, you know, whatever.
This was our first morning.
So this is
Yeah.
recorded.
I loved it. And we
Yeah.
looked out. Ashley's chickens were
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
Yeah, they're having
know.
the time of their life.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
A big breakfast.
Yeah.
We are
Mm-hmm.
ready for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's-
A great
and
breakfast.
Shout out to Grandma for the Irish.
Yes.
Do you guys call is that Irish soda bread or just
No,
Irish
just
bread?
Irish bread.
Okay, there's no soda involved.
No soda.
What is the soda in Irish soda bread? Baking soda? Or is it soda?
Maybe.
Or is it like some type of fizzy thing?
I don't know.
I've made like beer
That's-
bread.
I like beer bread. Yeah. So we made Irish bread at my grandma's yesterday, and she makes it in a coffee can, and it just slides right out. Ashley, how did you feel about it?
First of all, Grandma, if you're ever listening to this, you know I love you. Not for me. That bread does not.
Yeah. It is. It's different. There's raisins and what are the seeds?
Caraway seeds.
Caraway seeds.
Which I've only ever used for like a savory thing. And not to say this isn't because it's technically like a bread, but I was just kind of caught off guard because I've only ever used it for something more savory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it to my father. He's going to love it. I know that.
Oh.
I will say that bread packed a lot of flavors.
Yeah.
For
it's
sure, yeah.
different. And I think because I was raised on it, I
Yeah, you love
love it.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy it. I think I ate the whole loaf.
What's a coffee can?
It's like a tin, like
What?
coffee can.
A
What are you talking about?
can.
You know, like a can.
Oh, like Folgers coffee
Yeah.
can. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
God knew what that was because I was concerned.
When she said,
Yeah.
when
It's
she
like
said tin, I was like, okay.
it's like a can but bigger.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Slid
got
right
it.
out. It's so nice.
What a good idea. So, yes, we had brunch
bacon, Irish bread, mimosas.
Yeah, the Olipop. I had it 9:30 this morning, a root beer Olipop. I wasn't a fan of like a fake soda. The root beer one gets me every time.
Oh, the root beer one is amazing. It literally tastes exactly like
It does.
root beer.
And when you say fake soda, are you talking about like, so there's a lot of the zero sugar stuff out there? Are you including those?
Yeah, I don't mess with those. I don't even know.
Are you just, but that category, we're talking about like the Olipops, the
probiotic
poppies.
sodas? Yeah.
Oh.
The
Olipop
healthy,
and
the
pop.
healthier
Yeah, a
sodas.
healthier soda.
Mm.
I'm zero sugar. I'm good.
See, the zero sugar, I live and die by.
Yeah.
We could also probably do a whole episode on, now, obviously, we know there's the Diet Coke girlies out there. Like,
Yeah.
gotta have the Diet Cokes.
Yeah.
I would actually like to do a test on how many people converted to Coke Zero. It's a totally different flavor.
Yeah.
Totally different flavor. But I feel like Coke Zero has its own
Yeah.
legions of fans as well.
Yeah.
I
don't
used
like
to
it.
be, but it hurts me. It hurts me.
Yeah.
So
And
Yeah.
Diet Coke, I tried to get into it when it was getting big. I just like a regular Coke. Diet Coke, I have a terrible day when I drink it. I can't explain it.
Huh.
Bad things happen to me when I drink Diet Coke.
Oh,
So
Mm.
I just don't drink
you
it
know what we should
anymore.
try on the show? Those Cokes people put like half and half into. I gotta do it at least once. I gotta do it at least
I would
once.
do it. I mean, that reminds me of like a root beer float, right? Like a cream soda. Cream and soda. Beer floats are all great.
Diet Coke and champagne. Wasn't it Tom Hanks who drinks that? I think I
Diet
made
Coke
that
and
up.
champagne. Two bubbles.
Tom Hanks' drink of choice.
That's
No, it's-
intense.
It's very good though.
Oh, you've had it.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Sometimes my
So you'll try
will
that.
be sitting at a bar and she'll get a Diet Coke. And then
Who?
she'll get champampane.
What?
My middle sister.
Oh, okay. Yes.
The bartender has watched her do it and he's like, I've never seen that before.
Ooh, let's talk about the most peculiar drinks we've ever had.
What's the one
Or-
we tried at that brewery, Bully Boy?
Oh, that was the ube.
Yeah.
Ube. Oh, that was fine. You didn't
Yeah.
really like it.
Love
It-
ube.
I liked it. It was an ube cocktail. It was weird, but
Oh, I loved
I liked it.
I could have had 10 of those.
Yeah.
So good.
It was like
Yeah.
a smoothie though. Like,
And
maybe it was the consistency that threw me off.
Oh.
I even got a free hat that night.
she didn't even appreciate
What?
I know.
Bully Boy.
Hey,
If you're listening and you want to sponsor us,
Yeah.
we're here. We're here for the ube latte.
I'll be back.
Say ube lattes. The ube
Yeah.
cocktails.
And
I'm here for the ube latte.
And thank you for the hat. I do wear it in the winter a lot. It's a
Oh.
very warm hat.
Wow.
Michelle loves a hat. So I'm going to like draw you a little picture of Michelle in a hat in the winter. So she's always in some type of warm hat. And
Always
instead
a
of
warm coat. Always,
and always a
with
warm
something
coat. Yeah,
added.
just bundled up. Like you see the eyes.
One
No.
thing about me is I'm bundled in the winter.
But because you wear the hat so much, I feel like inevitably, because you're going in and out, like you get hot too, hot and cold. So your head gets itchy and you just take your hat and like you're just constantly rubbing it against your head, like using it to scratch.
Yeah, I use
That's,
that.
that's literally you. Like 50% of the winter time, that's what you're doing.
I'll paint you another picture of in Ireland. I got a wool hat, a nice Irish wool hat. I didn't know at the time that I was allergic to wool. It made me even more. Hats always make me itchy. Always itching my head. It made me even more itchy. But I had committed to the hat, so I had hat hair. I also didn't realize it was raining that day, and the wool expanded with the rain. So not only was I itching, but it was like getting bigger, and it kept falling to cover my eyes. It was like a bus tour. I think it was the day we did the Cliffs of Moher, and I'd like turn my head to look out the window, and then my hat would just fall over my eyes, and then it'd just be itching. It was a mess.
Did you know you were allergic to it at the time?
No, I wouldn't have bought it, and I've never.
So you just figured you were allergic after because it stopped after?
It was so itchy,
Mm.
and it was red.
Okay.
It was ugly, but I wanted to keep it
Oh.
covered. So gross.
How long were you in Ireland then?
I believe it was 10 days.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, it was over a week.
When you went,
Sounds right,
huh.
I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it was 10 days.
I don't remember you being gone that long.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
loved it.
I didn't miss you, I guess.
Yeah, no, you didn't. I was eating Irish bread and Guinness every day.
Huh.
Yes.
Eating straight caraway seeds.
No, there was nothing like this. This is a one-of-a-kind grandma's recipe.
Grandma's recipe.
Yeah.
Walk us through a day in Ireland, your favorite day. Oh my gosh. Can we have an episode where you read your stories?
Yeah.
We should actually.
Should
I
we
think-
end it
I think we should have an episode where we talk about our favorite destinations, favorite trips.
Yes. And also how I thought Ashley was in Mexico right now.
Yep.
She's
Yeah.
not. She's here with us.
Yep.
But she texted in the group chat and she said, guys, we made it to Mexico. And I'm like, oh, great. She made it to Mexico. I'm like, I didn't know she was going, but good for her. I'm glad she got there safe.
Wait, pause.
Yeah, pause.
We record every week together.
We record every week.
I can't just go to Mexico and not tell them, say, hey, I'm in Mexico.
So in my mind, I'm like, oh, she made it safely. Didn't know she was going. But then what she was really saying was that our podcast, someone had listened in Mexico.
Yeah, we don't know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. We just see the
areas people listen to is
logistics.
In Mexico. And hey,
yeah,
thanks for listening in Mexico.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
No, we do. Thank you very much. So then you texted me back. And I think you were like, Tori, we got a listener in Mexico. But it was like a little bit later to where I'd already forgotten about that previous conversation. So then I texted back and I'm like, oh, wow, that's great. Still thinking that you are still in Mexico.
Yep.
I'm like, you're in Mexico. And then I remember I even was like driving past your house the other day and I saw your cars like parked and I was like, oh, she probably, because they're always over there, but for some reason it looked like you had parked them in a certain way, like you were going away. And I'm like, oh, she parked the cars like because she's going, like that's what you usually do when you go away, you park the cars. So up until like probably
today.
Yesterday, today when I actually saw you, I thought you were in Mexico having a great time.
That's
yeah.
Okay. Should we end it on me reading a day?
Yes.
I will read the day of the hat. I can't remember if the hat is mentioned.
Oh, yeah. So should we tell people, though, these are journal entries?
Yes.
You do journal entries for your
So
trips.
when I travel, I will keep a journal. I love to write.
That's great.
So
there'll be more where this came from.
yes. So this will just be a little snippet. So it was day 7. We were staying in Galway at the time, and we did a Cliffs of Moher bus tour. When we did a bus tour before, I think it's mentioned, it was called the Paddy Wagon, and it was a mess. It was rickety. I thought I was going to die on the Paddy Wagon. Loved it. Recommend it again. Also, keep in mind, Rachel was extremely sick, and I was dragging her everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. Day 7. A good night of sleep. Thank you, night nurse. That was the sleeping pills we were taking. Cold medicine.
That's hilarious.
We could hear the nightlife from our room, but I didn't mind the chatter. The crosswalk was making its beeping noise all night, so we got to dream about crossing the street. A quick cappuccino and lemon cake at Cafe Nero, and we were off to our bus tour. I didn't know Cafe Nero was also in America. I thought it was this amazing cafe.
Yeah, I didn't know it was in Ireland.
Yeah.
That's
I was amazed. And then I saw one in Boston, and I was like, oh, what? Another celebrity on our bus, Harrison Ford. It wasn't Harrison Ford. Hopefully not another fugitive situation. So far, not as rickety as the Paddy Wagon. A smooth ride through the countryside, but there seems to be a know-it-all on board, a geologist. She claims she can answer any question. On the ferry, we go like cattle. A wee bit choppy on the Irish Sea. I hope the know-it-all gets seasick. That was evil of me. I'm sorry. I was really mad at her. And we had gone to the Aran Islands. Or maybe we should make her walk the plank. We made it to the Aran Island. I didn't realize how large our driver was. Looks like he could be a farmer. I don't remember.
Burly man.
When we got off the ferry, we got on a horse wagon ride. We were with Canadians that weren't very fond of Americans.
Uh-oh.
It took us around the island for about half an hour, then dropped us off for lunch. After a BLT and a panini, we decided to walk around a bit. The rain started, and not long after, we were soaked. My new Irish knit hat seems to be expanding and stretching by the minute. Despite the rain, we walked down to the beach and felt the water. It felt like the same temperature as the air, maybe a bit warmer. Back we go into the freezing wet ferry. The ride back was even choppier than coming. Waves crashing above the windows, and it feels like we're back on the Paddy Wagon. I've never been on a boat ride quite like this. Good thing no one on the bus knew if they got seasick. Yeah, because I remember it was like being shouted, like, does anybody get seasick? And everyone was like, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay.
Uh-oh.
With each big wave, screams were filling the deck. A worker on the boat guessed it was 5-foot waves, but I think 10 feet, and people on board agreed. Yeah, I was like shouting orders like I owned it. Finally, we slowed down a bit and got to see the cliffs from sea level. That made the almost death experience all worth it. We finally made it back to the bus. No one can believe what we just went through. The bonding experience this bus tour needed. Off we went to the cliffs up above. How breathtaking. Inconceivable, one might say. That's because that's where the Princess Bride was filmed.
Yes.
One's once sick just an hour ago, now posing for pictures. How inspiring. The tourist information and bathrooms looked to be a part of the hill, so our driver called it Teletubby Land. I'm not gonna lie, all the stairs going up the cliff was upsetting my knee from the injury I got. That's a different journal entry. What was supposed to be a quiet ride back to Galway quickly turned. The next thing I know, the know-it-all gets up to the front of the bus and takes the mic. She told the most boring facts about rocks I've ever heard. I don't care that if you mix HCl with limestone, it will bubble. No wonder people hate Americans. The bus filled with applause when the driver took back the mic. When our bus tour ended, we went back to our room and got dinner at the pub downstairs. I got beef stew with a Guinness and Rachel got a salad with seafood chowder. For a second, she thought she couldn't taste it, but it was a false alarm. They played 80s classics like I'm Still Standing, I Want to Break Free, and YMCA. We walked around the city a little bit for some ice cream. At one point, there was a ton of young people all dressed up, going in the same direction. We did what anyone would do. We followed them. They lead us to a pub that was having a Halloween party. We did not go in and went back to our room instead. While walking into the pub downstairs at 8:45, the band was just getting started. Going to bed, I can hear Elvis playing from the window. Good night, Ireland. I don't even think that's my favorite day, but I had a great time writing.
I can't wait to hear different journal entries, like just going forward in these episodes.
Yeah. It's gonna be good stuff. Just quickly, we have a loyal listener on YouTube.
Yes.
We really appreciate you following our episodes and listening and commenting.
We love the comments.
Very kind of you.
Yeah, seriously. You're a light in our lives.
Yes, very kind of you support. And then we also had our first paid subscriber. And you know what? That means the world. And we love you and we love it.
We do.
Bye-bye.
We love you lots. Bye. Little Sisters, Big Opinions, the podcast of stories, chaos, and spilling the tea, because no one's safe when you're the last of three.